Today we went to Cartagena, Colombia, and it was a lot of fun. We went on one of those sort of city tours, which isn't usually my favorite way to see a place, but we did get to see a lot that way because we were only in port for a little bit. You can also maybe see that I went back to my natural hair color because I didn't want to have to deal with roots while I was on the cruise. So yeah, not a whole lot to update everyone on. Cartagena is a very pretty city, but it was full of tourists, which, like, myself included, so can I really say anything about that? I don't think so. A lot of the places that we were taken to in Cartagena actually take American dollars, which was something that I didn't expect. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing the beauty. Our tour guide said this was the busy season, so I'd really like to come when it's a little cooler and that maybe there are a little less people so that I could see everything a little bit better. I don't really have a whole lot else to say about it, so I'm going to take the time now to show you Cartagena. So the first place we went to was the Castillo San Felipe, and I did learn a few things about that. I learned that it was only attacked 3 times, once by Sir Francis Drake, once by the French, and once by some guy whose last name was Vernon. From what I learned, they never succeeded. So it was a pretty intense fortress. One of the things that I noticed that I thought was cool about the fortress is that it had, for example, little tunnels that people would have to come through to get into the fortress where soldiers would hide, and that whole area reminded me very strongly of the queue for Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Florida, so I think that it became more obvious where they got some of their inspiration. Another thing that was interesting was just being able to see the whole city from the top of the Castillo. During our tour, we saw a couple of religious sites. A lot, something like 70 or 80% of Colombians are Catholic, so it makes sense. We saw a cathedral, we saw a Jesuit missionary, and one other thing we saw was the site of the Inquisition in Colombia. Other than that, we saw several historic sites for the city itself outside of religion, including the old jail cells, which is now used as a shopping center. It is full of mostly goods aimed toward tourists. Getting to see the city of Cartagena really brought some of the history that I'd read about it to life, and that was particularly one of the most interesting things to me. To really put into perspective everything that I knew about the city by actually being there and seeing the city. I hope that someday I'll be able to return when it's during the down season, so that I might be able to see more of its natural beauty.